Welcome back to the continuation of the 4-3 defense. I'm Coach Peters with All About the Basics. Now, before I continue to go on, I need you to do something for me. Make sure that you like and subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you can be notified anytime any new material comes out on the channel. So let's get into today. All right, guys, welcome back to another edition to the 4-3 defense. Man, this has been very, very fun for me. And this is hopefully something that you find very beneficial as a person who is maybe new to football and understanding the game of football, and hopefully these breakdowns become very easy. Now, before we keep going, something I need from you: like, subscribe, share, turn on the bell, and also go back and watch the other videos that was a part of this series so that you can see it fully come full circle as we get to the close. Now, today is going to be kind of a two-parter. It's going to be two of them, which is something I haven't done before, and it's going to be interesting because I want you to pay attention to how things change within the things that will be presented with on the screen. So, without further ado, let's get into what we're talking about today. So, we've talked about how to line up versus spread. We've talked about how to line up versus, pro out of spread. And now we're going to talk about trips. So today we're going against cover four, lining up about trips. Now, if you wonder why I keep choosing cover four, because if you are new to defense, it's very important for you to choose something that the athletes feel very comfortable in. It's very basic in the way they can maximize their potential. My favorite saying that I've told everybody in sports, and I live by this to the day: when you take the thinking out of sports, it's just fun. So you want them to play something and to be able to do their responsibility to the maximum ability and make sure it's just fun. So that's why I love the cover for to go to and just sit back and lean on when you got younger or newer kids and or coaches. Anyway, let's get to it. So as you can see, we're in the trips formation. Now, if you've been keeping up with some of the content, what you can see is a little bit different on the screen today. The last video, when I just did 11 Pro, I just had a tight end slash H on the field. Now, what's the difference? The two is back on the field, right? Because like I said, when the two comes on the field, it opens up some things for the offense. They can still run and they can pass. They can do jet motion. They can do RPO. They can do all kind of other things because they have a guy on the field that can do both. He's really good at running the ball, and he's also good at catching the ball. And everybody else is still the same. Now, if you look at what I got and how I line the guys up, this is just my way of lining them up. Some people do this on the offense, and some people don't. So they always like to put their third receiver in the middle, their Z, and they like to keep the two on the inside because that guy could be somebody that, like I said, runs in motion a lot, can get back in the backfield, do some banana motions, do all kind of weird stuff, right? Offense gets very tricky sometimes, but we're gonna keep it basic. So let's see how we're gonna line up against this. Now, as you can see on the screen, some things are a little bit different than they were when we were looking at pro and we were looking at doubles, right? First person that should jump out to you is the Sam. Look where he's lined up today. He is splitting the difference between the two receivers, in part because he has to be able to play the run and defend the pass. He's got to be ready for, as you can see out of this situation, flood. He's got to be ready for option concepts, and he's got to be ready to defend, tunnel screens and bubbles and things of that nature. So let's look at the coverage responsibility. My corners, same deep, cover your quarters. You are defending the back end, right? Then I got my underneath guy, like I said. My Sam, his responsibility is still curl to flat, but he changed his alignment, right? As you can see with the Will and the Mike as well. Their alignments are a little bit different in this situation as well. Um, and as for my Will, right? He has the backside. Now it's very important that he does what he needs to do within the backside. Excuse me. Now, as I was saying, it's very important that the Will does what he needs to do on the backside. He is my hook to curl player. So it's very important that on this, he takes care of that area. As you can see, his bubble got a little bit bigger because he is now lined up over the guard. He's in more of a 20 so that he can play the A and the B gap, right? Because we are shaded a little bit to favor the strength to the trip side. Then I got my mic. my money man. My Mike, he is still my green guy. He's got hook the curl to a deep middle sense. He can spread a little bit further than that, but for the sake of this video, this is where we're gonna place him. And then on my back end, I still got my two safeties covering the quarters. Now, I didn't rope them in all slow this time, but I'll just show you what they do. So, in terms of my DNs and my tackles, let's start weak side. So on the weak side, as you can see, this guy is shaded even a little bit further. The further he gets out wide is because look how closer in the wheel is, so that he can be able to, still set the edge on the backside. I got my tackle on the weak side. He's going to be in a 2-eye. And then I got my strong side tackle head up in a 2, and then I got my DN in more of a 4 to, kind of a 4-eye, like five-ish type role, so that he can play toward the trip side as well, so that we're in favorable position to be able to defend, whether it be run or pass out of this situation. So this is how we would line up if it was trips.